From the Loch Ness Monster to Bigfoot, people love to speculate about the incredible animals we've never encountered. And while Nessie may be a bit of a stretch, who's to say that every species has already been discovered? In fact, a recent animal discovery in the Arctic has been bewildering scientists, and it's bound to shock you as well. Nature is sometimes weirder than we think, as one group of explorers discovered firsthand. On the coast of the Arctic Circle lies Victoria Island, where the temperature is often at excruciating levels below 0 degrees Fahrenheit. And below those layers of ice, the Arctic is hiding some secrets. David KUPTANA is one of 2,000 people who live on Victoria Island, the 8th largest island on the Earth. Few people reside there considering the island's grand size, approximately the size of Idaho. As the temperature heats up, polar bears spend more time on land, which gives the Inuit people the opportunity to hunt them. They resourcefully use their meat for food and their fur for pants and boots. These white fluffy bears have long been a sacred part of their culture. As extinction started to creep up closer and closer on the polar bears, laws concerning hunting changed. However, hunting is still legal for Alaskan natives. And for Canada as a whole, the Untitled community is granted about a dozen polar bear hunting tags annually. But things got weird for David KUPTANA and his wife while on a seemingly regular and legal hunting expedition. They drove snowmobiles across the vast ice to a cozy island cabin as per usual, but wound up encountering something unusual. When the two arrived at the cabin, they were shocked to find that someone had broken in, most likely looking for food. After some head-scratching, David came to the conclusion that this someone was, in fact, a bear. The two spouses left the gutted cabin and drove off to find a new one. They were appalled to find this cabin was also plundered by a bear. Among the damage, they found a mattress dragged out onto the ice and a broken window. David was perplexed as he had never seen a polar bear behave like this. The KUPTANAs traveled to a total of 6 cabins and found them all wrecked. But at the 6th cabin, they got a big surprise. They caught the bear in the act. While it wreaked havoc, they observed the creature, having noticed that something about it was just a little bit off.
Also, if you have not done so already, please subscribe to our channel and click that notification bell to get inspired by these animal stories every day. Now, back to the story.
The meddlesome beast had blonde fur with sable paws and eyes. It looked nothing like a polar bear. The spooked bear attempted an escape, but David was on the move, having chased it down on his snowmobile. David thought it was a grizzly bear, but his guess was only partially accurate. Because David was frightened of the bear's erratic behavior, he humanely put down the creature. He brought the bear, who still mystified him, to a local government officer who was just as puzzled. But the officer had a hunch as to what this bear thing was. He figured it was some sort of hybrid, but to find out for sure, the officer sent the bear's DNA to a lab to be tested. They anxiously waited on the DNA results, but this was no episode of Maury. The test showed that years prior to David's discovery, 20 of these animals were born in captivity. But because these particular hybrid animals and their parents had been kept apart from the wild, where did David's blonde bear originate from? Well, in 2006, a hunter found the first documented hybrid bear on Banks Island, Northern Territories, Canada, which is a bit northwest of where David found his hybrid in 2010. While those bears were never found to be particularly exciting or noteworthy to scientists, things changed in 2016. In 2016, a hunter discovered the third wild hybrid bear of its kind in Arviat, Canada. By this point, scientists had hypothesized that pesky climate change was the culprit behind bear interbreeding, as warming climates cause the Arctic ice to melt, which isn't good for the polar bears. They figured that otherwise polar bears wouldn't dream of mating with foreign species. The mix of polar bear and grizzly characteristics would most likely create a hybrid bear that would be better equipped for warmer temperatures. Unfortunately, the mix of grizzly and polar bear traits didn't help the PIZZLY bear, also known as the growler bear or nanulak, adapt to any environment. They didn't excel on ice or land, making the climate change theory a flop. When the DNA test results were in, it was revealed that the Untitled PIZZLY was a unique blend. Its mother was exactly 50% grizzly and 50% polar, while its father was a pure grizzly. This confirmed that the PIZZLY bears are in fact fertile mammalians. But in 2017, a group of scientists determined using DNA and genetic testing that the wild PIZZLY bears are all traced back to the same family tree, ending with one common relative, a female polar bear known as Bear 10960. She had mated with two different grizzly bears, one of which she mated with twice. But what exactly was the catalyst for the bears' interspecies breeding? Well, experts have several theories. There could have been a few male polar bears nearby, or perhaps a male grizzly picked up her scent and proceeded to follow her. But believe it or not, there could be a simpler explanation. It's possible that Bear 10960 simply had a thing for grizzlies, considering she mated with grizzlies 3 times. Cue the Barry White mixtape. However, we still don't know a ton about the reason behind her interbreeding, though it is telling that the genetic research confirmed polar bears and grizzlies have been mating for thousands of years.
If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and consider sharing it with your friends and family. Thanks again, and we'll see you in the next one.